Hello, welcome to Week 10. This week we are covering Chapter 8, Exploring Data Analysis and Business Intelligence. New in this Excel are some advanced tools which we'll be learning about this week. In this first one, we'll be looking at the what-if analysis. We'll be using this to do a goal seek and solver to analyze rebate amounts for recyclables at current rates. To start, you're going to open up the Pause and Practice 8-1 Paradise Lake Start file. When we go to our Revenue tab, we're going to start with a what-if analysis. What we want you to do, or what you want to do, is you want to highlight cells D4 through D7. And we do a what-if analysis under Data, Forecast, What-if. And we use Scenario Manager. Now you'll see no scenarios are currently defined. No scenarios exist in this workbook, so we're going to add our first one. We're going to call this one Original. Changing cells are the same. We're going to add a comma if we want to, and then we're going to press OK. Now, we're not going to change any of these values. We're going to press OK. So, we can actually create a scenario with this new data. If we want to use this scenario here, okay. I apologize, my door just opened without anybody there. Alright, so we're going to create a scenario with this new data. Okay, so we're going back to the Scenario Manager here. So you can see the original scenario name is listed. We're going to click Add to add a second scenario. We're going to call this one Best. Clicking OK. And now we're going to adjust some of our amounts. So we're going to type in 62,000 for rentals, saying that's the best scenario possible we can get. And then press Tab. Right, so if you press Enter, you will actually go back to the Scenario Manager dialog, which you can then edit. Okay, so here we're going to tab. We're going to say excursions are 36,000. The spa services are 28,000. And the shop purchases are 20,000. We'll press OK. And then we're going to click Add for our new scenario called Worst. Clicking OK, we're going to add these numbers in at 55,000 for total rentals, 30,000 for excursions, 22,000 for spa services, and 12,000 for shop purchases. Press OK, and then we can press Close. And you can see the original values are still displayed in the workbook. Now we're actually looking at how do you actually show these scenarios. Going back to our what-if analysis, our Scenario Manager, and now we see the three here. We're going to click on Best, and then we want to Show. And that will show you our best scenario. Now click on Closed, and now we can click on A2 up here. So to create a scenario summary report, going back to our what-if analysis, under the Data tab Forecast group, we're going to go back to our Scenario Manager one more time. We're going to click on Summary. We want to say we're going to do a scenario summary. Results cell, we're going to change this to E8 for total revenue. And then we'll press OK. And you'll see that's put in as a new worksheet named Scenario Summary. So it's saying current values, this is the original, best, and worst, and then the result cell being the total revenue, and how total revenue is affected by what the original is and the best and the worst. So the next thing we're going to do is look at Goal Seek to determine the number of pounds of recycling. Going over to our recycling worksheet here, so you can see this is the Paradise Lake Resort aluminum, plastic, and glass recycling. So we're looking at 4 different locations, how many pounds were collected, the rebate per pound, and then what the total rebate was, as well as the total pounds and rebate. So we're going to start by clicking on cell D4 here. Going back to our what if analysis, and we'll use a goal seek. Right? And we want to set this to a certain value. So say we wanted to earn $50 in total rebates. And then by changing cell, well, we'd have to change how many pounds were collected because our rebate is static. So to get to $50 total rebate, we're saying how many pounds we have to collect. It's saying we have to collect 142 pounds. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing with analysis, goal seek. We want to reach $50 in rebates for Breezy Point by changing how many pounds we need 147 pounds. Now if we wanted to say we're going to reduce the decimal points here, and we're going to say we want them all to be with 2 decimals. And there we go. Now we can actually create a scenario for this current data. So we're going to select cells B4 to B7. We're going to do, again, Data tab, Forecast, What If Analysis. We're going to select the Scenario Manager. And we're going to add. Now notice that there are no scenarios listed here. Scenarios are associated with specific worksheets and not entire workbooks. And this sheet currently has no scenarios. So we're going to add this one, and we're going to call it Current. We'll press OK. We're not going to change any values. Then we'll click Close. So we created a scenario for this workbook. Now we need to install the solver function. So some of you might have already installed this, or some might need to do so. Okay. So going up to here, to File, to Options, Add-ins, and the Solver add-in. Okay, and so it might say it's inactive, or it might say it's active. So what you want to do is come down here to Manage your extensions. And then you want to do the Solver add-on. Press OK. Alright. And so now our solver is included. You'll see under Data tab, Analyze, Solver. So let's come in here to cell D8. Right? This has a sum function. Well, we're going to use a solver for this. So our objective is going to be cell D8. Right, that's what we're going to be adjusting for. Now, we're going to be verifying that we're going to be using a max for the 2. And we will be changing variable cells of B4 to B7. Now we're going to add some constraints to the solver. So our first constraint, we're going to be working with cell B4. We're going to say B4 has to be less than or equal to 150. Add. Also B4, we're going to say it has to be greater than or less or equal to 130. So it has to be between 130 and 150. So we can say B4 is less than 150 and greater than 130. So let's do the same thing for the rest. So B5, we want it to be less than or equal to 160. We also want B5 to be greater than or equal to 150. We want B6 to be less than or equal to 175. And we want B6 to be greater than or equal to 150. We want B7 to be less than or equal to 200. But we also want B7 to be greater than or equal to 180. And so we should have two for each one, a less than and a greater than. Less than, greater than, less than, greater than, less than, and greater than. So at this point, our constraints are included. Now we want to make sure we have this check mark right here. The make unconstrained variable is non-negative, right? We always use the GRG nonlinear solving method. We're not going into the issues of the different types of solving methods here at this time. And then we'll click Solve. And a possible solution is presented. And this is just one of many possible solutions that you can get out of this. Now, we're going to try and save the scenario results. So this is the solver results dialog box that just showed up. Okay? And so we want to save the scenario. We're going to save this as max. Press OK. And we're going to return back to this solver results dialog box. Now we want the answer reports. Press OK. And you'll see a new worksheet open up down here. Now, we're going to create a scenario summary report again. Alright, so if we go back up to the what if, analysis, scenario manager, we're going to do a summary. Scenario summary, result cell is again cell D8. We're going to do OK. And there we go. And this is now titled Scenario Summary 2. At this time, we're going to just save the workbook. You can uninstall Solver if you need to. And then you are done with this pause and practice.